Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day. The channel keeps you up to date with all the latest goings on at Ibrox. Well, you know what? Look, we can talk about the performance in a minute. We can talk about the actual game in a moment. But I think we can all agree that a point away from home, going to a very tough stadium against a decent team that played well, especially first half. I thought Sparta Prague were by far the better team in the first half. A point away from home with a gritty, determined performance, I think, is a good result, a very good result for the club, and puts us in a position where if we win our remaining two home games, it puts us bang in the position to qualify from this group, which ultimately has to be the aim. Because please God, don't finish third, because I don't want to end up in the Papa John's Conference League Trophy Mickey Mouse Cup thing. It's just, and if we do end up in that, just play the youth team because it doesn't really matter. But tonight in Prague, Rangers went away and got a 0-0 draw, a 0-0 draw. A game of kind of, well, I kind of want to say a game of two halves, but it wasn't really. I mean, first half, I thought Jack Butland was absolutely excellent. I mean, Jack Butland, as the title on the opening slide suggested, Jack Butland saved Rangers. He really did. He pulled off a fantastic double save. Just save after save he pulled off, and he was absolutely superb. The way he, stiff arm balls away, used his feet, used his whole body to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Without a keeper as talented as Jack Butland, we probably could have been easily 2-3-0 down going into half time. Jack really did keep us in it, and I think. I don't think it is unfair at all to say that Jack Butland saved Rangers today. As he has on previous occasions. He kept the score down against PSV, and he's pulled off some vital saves. And we need it. It's just confirming what we all know about Jack, that he is a top class goalkeeper and a fantastic shot stopper. And again tonight, he shows again that he is the best signing we have made this summer, the best player we've brought in. He's been absolutely superb again. He was my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Like I said, absolutely brilliant. Can't fault him. Cannot fault him. 9 out of 10 performance. You don't give 10 out of 10, to anyone. So 9 out of 10 performance for Jack tonight. I thought Jack was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, it was interesting for Philippe Clement, his first taste of European football, and perhaps his first taste of kind of where this squad currently are, where this team really are in terms of their abilities, in terms of their ability to challenge, in terms of their ability to compete at the very highest level. Although you can argue that Prague aren't really the very highest level. They're not obviously in the same league as any of the Champions League teams. But, fair play to Prague. They played very well first half. They made life for Philippe Clement's team very hard indeed. Brimanovic, one of their players, looked absolutely lethal as. I mean, he looks a quality player, and some of the chances he created that ended with Jack Butland's saves were fantastic. Although Brimanovic did very well. Rangers were fairly anonymous in the first half. It really wasn't a good performance at all. It was a performance where we were kind of under the cosh. And I think to get in at half time at 0-0 is an excellent result for Rangers. And John Lundstrom with a fantastic tackle to keep them out. So look, a solid point, shall we say, away from home in this group stage. Now, look, if you're going to go through, we're going to talk about the players. Like I said, Jack Butland, I thought was absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Just a well-earned clean sheet for Jack Butland. Very, very good indeed. I thought Tav was not great tonight. I thought his defensive abilities were really tested tonight by the attack of Sparta Prague, and he was, well, against Birmanovic in particular, he was left wanting on several occasions. And I'll be honest with you, his defensive frailties were shown up yet again. So I don't think Tav had the best of games, because he was asked to do more of what he can't do very well, which is defend. Connor Goldson wasn't great, wasn't terrible, wasn't... Okay, if you go back a minute, Butland I'd give a 9 out of 10 to. Tav, 4 out of 10. Connor Goldson, 6 out of 10. Didn't think he was brilliant, didn't think he was terrible. Just thought it was a very average performance from Goldson on the night. Thought John Souttar was excellent tonight. Thought he did really well, 7 out of 7. Struck 8 out of 10. performance. Carried the ball forward when he could, tried to start attacks off when he could, and also put his body on the line on several occasions to stop shots on target. So for me, John Souttar, 7 or 8 out of 10. A very good performance by John Souttar. Ben Davies stepped up into the left back slot, filling in for the injured Borna Barisic and ineligible Ridvan Yilmaz. He was it was a bit of 3 at the back at times, with Tav pushing on. I thought, he looked a bit nervous. Davies, I don't think he's not a left back. He's been asked to do a job that he's not comfortable with. So, 6 out of 10 for Davies. John Hunson, I thought, played very well. He was strong in the tackle. He made that good challenge, in the first half to stop Sparta from scoring. He battled away. I thought he did all right. I would give John Hunson 7 tonight. Nico Raskin, he tried to be forward thinking. He tried to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. He had a late strike that kind of was a bit of an aberration, perhaps that he shouldn't have gone for. A pass would have been better. Nico, 6 out of 10, I would say, tonight. Cadwell obviously played, started the game. Now he's fully fit. He tried his best to force the issue. But things didn't quite fall for him. Booked and subbed after 64 minutes. I think, Cadwell, 6 out of 10. Not a typical Todd performance. Sam Lammers, look, I'm trying to convince myself that there's a player in there. I thought he was dreadful tonight. Absolutely dreadful. 3 out of 10. He was just, when he had that chance that the keeper saved, when he gets the ball edge of the box, left-footed shot, good save by the keeper. Could have easily scored the goal there to help us to win the game and secure all 3 points. But I just thought he was poor. Absolutely awful again. Abdallah Sima, 8 out of 10. Thought he was excellent. Worked really hard. Had a wonderful effort on goal, constantly charging him down the left flank. Played very, very well indeed. Did brilliantly. Last member of the starting 11, Cyril Dessers. I thought he looked isolated at times. He wasn't supported. But at the same time, when the ball fell to him, he looked to be completely lacking any edge, any cutting edge, any clinical edge to his game at all. He wasn't great tonight. I would say 5 out of 10. 4 out of 10, maybe. Not a great performance by Cyril Dessers. Obviously, Danilo had that great chance late on, that shot that the keeper tipped onto the bar. A brilliant shot from Danilo. Could have easily won us the game. But overall, you look at it, chances were few and far between tonight. In a game that going away from it in the cold light of day, thinking about it, you'd probably take a draw away in Sparta, as long as obviously you've followed up with 2 victories at Ibrox in the next 2 home games. In terms of the team's stats, they had 16 shots to our 12. They had 4 shots on target to our 4. They had 52% possession. We had 48% possession. They completed 390 passes. Rangers completed 384 passes. Pass accuracy was fairly equal. Foul ratio, we fouled more than they did. So, 2 fairly evenly matched teams, somewhere that I think obviously that we're going to have to overcome them when they come to Ibrox for the return game in this group. But if you look at the group and how the group is poised at this moment in time, it looks a little bit like this. So Betis are top after winning tonight. They have played 3, won 2, lost 1, which was to us. Goals for 2, goals against 1, 6 points. 1 win, obviously, their form table the last 5. Obviously, you can't have that because you haven't played 5 games yet. Sparta second with a record of 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, 4 and 4. So a completely dead even goal difference and a what's the word I'm looking for here? And a decent position, decent run of form. Rangers sitting 3rd. Please God, don't finish 3rd. Please God, don't finish 3rd. And Aris Limassol are last. So look, that's where we stand at this moment in time. 2 wins, against Sparta in the return leg at Ibrox, and then obviously Aris at Ibrox. I think puts us on 10 points and probably would be enough to qualify from the group. So look, a battling draw, a combative draw. A bit of grit and a bit of determination in tonight's performance. Not a brilliant performance. Better second half. Once I think Philippe Clement's spoken to him, told him to press a little bit higher, press with a little bit more energy, which was evident in the second half. So it's proof that he can obviously influence the game with what he wants teams to do. Anyway, this man has been talking about a number of topics, including his prospective return to Ibrox. It looks highly likely that he will be appointed as an advisory consultant to the club. Now, we know that Graham Souness played a role in selection of the new manager. It was thought that it came down to a choice, obviously, between Muscat and Clement, and possibly even Frank Lampard, given comments made by Souness. But overall, you've got to say it would be nice to have a real, true Rangers man back at the club. Someone who knows this club inside out, someone who managed this club, someone who, you know, who knows the expectations, who knows what is needed to be a good Rangers manager, and to be able to work in the cauldron of an Ibrox atmosphere. Souness will be invaluable, I think, to the players, to the management staff. Be able to tap into his knowledge, and the fact that they're giving him a job is a very, very, very good piece of news. Now, what he had to say when he spoke to Jim White, he said, "I'm not sure it's a senior advisory role. It's more a consultant ambassador, but I'm a Rangers supporter. I had the chance to go back early in the season, and I didn't feel the job description was right for me, but I'd love to help them. I want them to be successful again. I want them to be top of the league. I want them to be top of the Scottish game and do well in Europe going forward. If I can offer any advice or to any part of the footballing part of the job, then I'll do it. And I have to say, I'm pretty close to agreeing everything. We've just got a few things to iron out." That's the first bit of what he said. So it seems very, very clear that Souness will be returning at some point in this advisory role, this consultant role, to Ibrox. Certainly exciting times to have our former manager and a real legend of the club back in the fold. He's clearly ambitious. He clearly wants Rangers to do well. He clearly wants Rangers to win. And you've got to agree with him, obviously, and you've got to agree with the sentiment that he brings. It's now about obviously translating that onto the pitch. Now, he was questioned about the manager situation and who he had backed in the manager. Now, he said there were two outstanding candidates for me, Frank and Philippe, referring to Frank Lampard and Philippe Clement. The final say wasn't with me. For me, Frank had the edge because of this. Frank, I think, has a lot to offer. Taking the Chelsea job when he did was very, very difficult. The Everton job was a basket case, and have they improved since Frank left? No. So I wouldn't be too critical of Frank. The thing that encouraged me about him was that he wanted to do it. He doesn't need the money. He wants to be a successful manager, and he fancied the Rangers job. So look, Souness is someone who knows the club. He's obviously got he obviously watches what's going on at the club very closely. He obviously knows what's coming up at the club. So for me, it would be a great appointment if we were to bring him back, like it looks increasingly likely that we are going to do, to have a Rangers legend, someone who is who can advise the players, can advise the coaching staff. This is a guy, who's been there, seen it, done it, won the t-shirt, or worn the t-shirt. So look, great times at Rangers. Well, guys, let me know what you think of the game tonight, and also the fact that Souness will be returning to the club. Thanks for watching, and as always, on the way out, I need you to do 3 things for me tonight. 3 things, guys. Number 1, smash the sub. Number 2, smash the like. And number 3, remember, we are the people.